Hey, what's up? I'm Ara, aka I Eat Zebra, and welcome back to the channel. In my last Yellowjackets theory video, I referenced a spread from the April 2023 Fangoria issue, written by Meredith Borders in collaboration with Yellowjackets showrunners Ashley Lyle and Bart Nickerson. They decided on a yearbook theme to introduce the season 2 cast, including some superlatives for everyone. I asked and some of you answered, requesting that I cover and break down the spread. So here we are. After looking at the superlatives, I noticed there are tons of clues indicating where the season is heading, as well as some events that have come to pass. Quick disclaimer, this video was recorded after season 2 episode 4 and before episode 5. We are around the halfway point of the season with a lot of story left to tell. In the meantime, let's get into this spread to see what the showrunners are trying to reveal to us. Let's start with the first page of students, starting with Akila, who was named most likely to talk to animals. In the handwritten note, your girl's finally moving up to varsity this year. After the recent episode, we saw Akila meet a little mouse, which I believe will become her little pet pal. Cue Ben by Michael Jackson, since I know this isn't going to end well. Quick side note, I'm pretty sure the mouse is responsible for nibbling on the bear meat. For the second half of Akila's entry regarding moving up to varsity, you can check out my latest theory video, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, for a deeper dive into what I believe that is about. Next up, we have Mari, voted as most likely to contact you on Facebook in 20 years after graduating to sell you something, with the handwritten note of bully. Does this mean Mari is a survivor? As we know, Facebook did not exist in the 90s, and the present day is set 25 years after the initial crash. Does this mean Mari is a confirmed survivor and not Pit Girl? Are we going to potentially get an adult Mari cameo of her trying to recruit one of the girls into an MLM scheme? If so, that would be hilarious. Regarding the bully note, we have seen Mari instigating a lot of fights this season, between the Nat vs. Lottie hunt-off to her accusing Ben of stealing meat. She's definitely going to be the one to watch when tensions rise. On to the next page in the yearbook, we have our boy, Travis Martinez, chosen as most likely to mess things up with his crush, with a note written in, proud of his journey toward peace. As we can see, Travis has been starting to have some romantic feelings towards Lottie, hence his breathing boner and fantasy of her while sleeping with Nat. I think his conflicting feelings are going to bubble over into an explosive fight with Nat in episode 5. After the reveal at the end of episode 4 that I'm going to touch on a bit later. For the note about his journey toward peace, I think this is a nod to Lottie's version of events surrounding Travis's death. As she mentions, he was trying to have a near-death experience for clarity, which did not end well. Next to Travis, we have Lottie Matthews, voted most likely to start a cult, with the written note, duh. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, Lottie is the antler queen. As I continue to shamelessly plug my theory video on the topic, link below, the duh indicates how very obvious this is in my opinion. My girl, Vanessa Van Palmer, is next, and she is class clown and best storyteller. We have seen Van's funny side since season 1. I'm hoping we get another fireside movie retelling from Van this season. Maybe Misty and Crystal could help by acting it out. There is a note that reads, thanks for joining me, Van. Maybe this is a nod to adult Van joining season 2, or her siding more with Lottie back in the woods. We have our girl, Missy Quigley, voted as most likely to make a new friend, with the note reading, really? Missy and Crystal are growing very close, and I believe that will be her close ally in the days to come. After Misty, we have Callie Sadecki, selected as most likely to date someone who's already graduated. Callie has been hanging with Kevin's partner, the undercover cop, Detective Matt, whom she has already let slip that Shauna had an affair. Now that Shauna's confessed, I can see Callie's naive ass trusting him with that information, but the typical teenage logic of, promise not to tell, secrecy, and she will end up getting her whole family caught up. Next we have Natalie Nat Scatorcio, voted most likely to lie to you for your own good, with a written note of, "And the sky was all violet. I wanted again, but violent, more violent." As we saw, Nat thought she was helping Travis by lying about Javi being dead, which we found out was not the case in episode 4. The written note is a lyric from the song Violet by The Hole. I was not familiar with the song and decided to look into Genius for the lyric breakdown for this one. According to their site, the meaning behind "and the sky was all violet, I wanted again but violent, more violent" is sky could be indicative of the relationship's mood. The shade violet, the color of bruises, contrasts from the previous amethyst. Since amethyst tends to be delicate and light, gentle hues of pink and lilacs. This change in wording might perhaps be a metaphor of how the violence in the relationship has escalated and now become much more intense. Similarly to what happens in the hook, the victim is reclaiming the abuse and making it her own. The sexual innuendo in this line is absolutely intentional. To signify the rallying cry, "You can do what you want to my body, but you will never make me think of myself as a victim." We know Nat grew up in a troubled family. Perhaps Nat's current traumatic experiences will allow her to take control of her past. Let me know how you would interpret these lyrics. Next up is Shauna Shipman, chosen as most likely to throw the first punch, with the note of "always here to lend an ear." We know the note is about her eating Jackie, aka Snacky's ear. Regarding the punch, we see in the trailer the girls start to fight what I presume to be each other. Is Shauna going to be the first one to attack? Probably, since she has a penchant towards violence. Last on this page we have my girl Thaisa Turner, voted as most two-faced, with the note of WTF. I believe this is related to Thaisa's dissociative identity disorder, but I think it goes a bit deeper than what someone with this disorder would normally experience. I have a lot of speculation regarding what I believe to be a supernatural element involved with Ty's disorder. Good news is, I'm already working on a separate theory video for this topic, so make sure you're subscribed for when that drops. Moving on to our next group in the yearbook, which is the staff. For the most part, this consists of the present day cast. First up, we have newcomer Lisa, selected as everyone's favorite cool young teacher. Lisa is so far the only member of Lottie's present day compound commune purple wearing cult members we really get to know, which would make her our favorite by default. She is also younger than the other cast, being in her 20s. Another newcomer to the season, we have Paul, voted as most crushable teacher. Paul is Ben's boyfriend that we see in Ben's visions during the time in the woods during the 96-97 season. I'm hoping we might get a glimpse of a perspective of the loved ones of the team members from the past, maybe a candlelight vigil where Paul is present. After Paul, we have adult Lottie. Yes, I know Ashley's name is first, but we're coming back to her. Adult Lottie Matthews, who was only referenced by name in the season 1 finale, has had a large presence in season 2. Adult Lottie, similar to her younger self, was voted most likely to start a cult again, with "duh" written in again. I know I sound like a broken record, but she is the antler queen in the past, and now she is Charlotte, the beekeeper cult leader, in the present. Time to circle back to Ashley Lyle and the other co-showrunner, Bart Nickerson. Ashley was voted most likely to read your tarot, and Bart is most likely to reference Eddie and the Cruisers too. I believe Ashley's is probably a reference people that know her will fully understand. Bart's, however, I find more telling. I have not seen the 1989 film Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives, so I looked up a quick synopsis of the film, and the wiki description says, everyone thinks rock star Eddie Wilson died in a car crash, but in fact, he started a new life in Canada as a construction worker. In his absence, Eddie's slimy record label has been shamelessly using his fiery death to make money from his repackaged recordings. Angered Eddie takes to the road incognito with a new band called Rock Solid. As the group gains traction and is eventually offered a contract from his old record company, Eddie is forced to confront his past. The mention of Canada and someone being presumed dead and leading a new life makes me think we might find another survivor we did not suspect. After the finale of last season, I did write Javi off as dead, but as we see in the recent episode, he is still alive. If you listen to the Yellowjackets Buzz podcast, one of the hosts, Issa, came up with a cool theory that Javi may actually be possessed by a spirit or entity in the wilderness. I assume this would be related to the symbol they have been seeing everywhere. I think Issa is onto something, especially where Van and Ty found Javi in the last location where the tree with the symbol would be located. My other suspicion on what this could be referring to is Ghost Jackie, as Bart is listed as a writer on episode 1, where we do get to see Ghost Jackie for the first time, which is a form of new life, well, afterlife that is. However, as a showrunner, he does have influence on every episode, so maybe this comes into play another way. Moving on to our last page, we have adult Vanessa Palmer, voted most likely to be on a bar trivia team. We see Van in Ohio working at what appears to be a video rental store or maybe a collector shop. She's probably an Ohio townie and frequents the local bar there. We do see in the past she has a lot of pop culture knowledge. Maybe she takes Ty to the local townie bar for trivia night and shows off her skills as they rekindle their relationship. Next to Van, we have adult Misty Quigley, chosen as most likely to have trust issues, as Missy partners up with her online fellow citizen detective, Walter, and they form an IRL relationship. She does not feel comfortable fully letting her guard down, which is understandable given her experiences. However, I think Walter is truly Missy's soulmate. Following Missy, we have Jeff Sadecki, selected as most likely to get in over his head. I think he's going to slip up big time in the investigation and as a result may inadvertently take the rap for Shauna. Speaking of Shauna, we have Mrs. Shauna Sadecki next to her husband Jeff. She was voted as most likely to get her groove back. I think by groove they mean her violent murder itch. After threatening the chop shop owner to get her minivan back, I think Shauna is getting the thrill and excitement of being a hunter again. To be honest, I could see adult Shauna potentially getting another murder under her belt this season. Who she might kill, not 100% sure, but I have some thoughts. Next to Shauna, we have adult Natalie Scatorcio, listed as most likely to become a lover, not a fighter. I think her time with Lottie's cult is actually going to help Nat with her inner turmoil and depression. We see her turn down a shot in the last episode and stand up to Lisa's mom in defense of how the program is clearly working for her. Who knows, Nat might change into some purple, or shall I say, heliotrope gear by the end of the season. For actual staff members, we have my guy, Coach Ben Scott, voted as biggest daydream believer. We see him having visions and daydreams of Paul a lot, reliving moments he misses, regrets, and fantasies he wishes he had actually lived. Like the one of him seeing the crash on the news with Paul after leaving the team at the airport and not boarding. As we know, this is an obvious lie. With his increased hunger and potential delirium, I think Coach Ben is not long for this world and will be the next one on the menu this season, along with Shauna's baby. There's no way that little one is making it out of there. Next, we have our favorite New Jersey Senator, adult Thaisa Turner, winner of most likely to be disbarred, which does not sound good at all. With her deteriorating mental health, the accident with Simone, and the incident with Biscuit, as well as also being an accomplice to the cover-up of Adam's murder, I do not think Thaisa will be holding office for much longer. Last up, we have newcomer Walter, voted as most unique. And to be honest, from what we have seen of him so far, yeah, the description fits. I believe, like Adam, Walter is probably exactly who he says he is. Walter is Missy's soulmate, in my opinion, and I would love to see a true and deep relationship blossom between the two. However, the last time someone got close to loving a yellow jacket, Adam, they ended up dead for no reason. I hope this isn't the fate that befalls Walter, but I could definitely see that happening. Do you think Walter is going to survive this season? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future uploads. If you have your own speculation on what is going on with Ty, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows, you may get a shout out in my next video. See you next time. Bye!